Hello Internet, and today's video is going to be another book opinion, those videos in which I tell you my opinion on a book, and today's book is going to be ShadowShaper by José Older. This is the first in a series. This is about a Latina girl. She discovers that there is more to her family history than she originally thought. She is an artist, she is a painter, and she discovers that she has the ability to paint spirits into her work. Like, she has a connection to the spirits, and through her art she can bring those spirits a second life. She can give them a second life. However, people like her who have this ability are being hunted down and murdered gruesomely. And now she is in a fight for her life to try to figure out this family history, what's going on, and how she's possibly going to get out of it alive. I really like this book for the character. Like, I liked the main character. I liked how she wasn't putting up with any of these people. A lot of things that I find frustrating about characters when we use that common trope of, oh, the main character is special but she doesn't know her whole family history, is the fact that the main character doesn't tend to go and seek out that family history or push against these people who don't want to tell them. And this girl does. She does not have time for you keeping secrets, for you telling her that she's not allowed because she's a girl and so girls shouldn't be allowed to do these things. When she doesn't get her answers, she at least lets you know that she is displeased. Like when her mom doesn't give her answers, when she can't figure out from her grandfather, and when she starts discovering the reason why, she's not like damping it down and like, oh, being amazed. She's like, look guys, I deserve to know these things, and if you won't tell me, I'll figure it out, because stuff is going down and I don't have time to listen to you guys sit here and say that I'm not old enough or that I don't have a penis enough to do these things. So I really love that about her character trait. I liked the aspect of the spirit thing and how these spirits came and had a second life through the work of the artist. I like that exploration of bringing the culture into this supernatural power. I thought that was very fascinating. I like how slowly the tale grew of how her powers came to be, what they mean for the people around them, how they work for these different people who have these special abilities. And I thought that was like a fascinating development of the story as she unraveled pieces of it and started putting things all together. I think that the thing that this book suffers from the most is the fact that it doesn't give enough time for these characters to fully develop. While the main character is developed so that you can really get a feel for her, a lot of the side characters don't get that same treatment where you get to see them a couple times, you get to see her interactions with them, but it really feels like a her-centered focused story. In this, I mean, sometimes when you read a book, you feel like there's a world outside of the main character. Like, you feel like there's something more to the main character, that the characters around them have lives and that they're people. And like, you get this feeling that there's a lot more that's not being said and that you can just imagine, like, this realness to it. For this, not so much of that. Like, this is a fairly short book. It didn't really give time for you to get a feel for the world around this girl other than what she was directly seeing, what she was directly visualing, what she was directly involved with. And even for these characters, we didn't really get much from them outside of the one or two interactions she has with these characters. So in character development wise, it really doesn't give enough time for you to really fall in love and care for characters outside of the main girl herself. And I found that disappointing because for me personally, characters are the most important thing to me in a story. So if I like your characters, I'm more forgiving for your plot. And if you don't have compelling characters, I just find your story to be okay, because I like liking characters. I like when I actually get to like people or feel something for people in general. Whether I like them or don't like them, I want to have that feeling about them. But I didn't really get a chance to in this, because it was a lot more of what is the history that's hidden, what's this thing about spirits and how they're intertwined with these paintings, how do these powers work, what is the family history, how does it work, what is kind of the mystery going on, and how are we going to stop ourselves from being murdered. And all of those were wonderful concepts, all of those were like beautifully done, but I could have done with a lot more character development and a lot more scene interactions between characters that didn't just feel one-dimensional overall. I do think ShadowShaper is a good book. I did like how it had Latina culture in it and how it gave that essence while adding in the spiritual element. I did think that was super fascinating. I also want to mention this girl's name is Sierra, and the person that she's looking for most of this book to try to figure out how she's going to save the day is like a special spirit called La Sierra. And if you've read this book, you might see where I'm going there, but especially for the end of this book, I just found it funny how her name is similar to the name of a spirit that she's looking for in particular. Like, it was such like a big neon sign that I was like, this seems suspicious. And then slowly, as we get more into this history and what's going on and like how all of this came to be, it was like, okay, yeah, that was super suspicious and wasn't really subtle at all. That's not something I'm complaining about. I just thought it was funny, so I'm going to mention it here. So ShadowShaper is a really fun short book if you're looking for something really entertaining, something that's very atmospheric and like has a lot of like spiritual artsy feels to it and is really like on a time crunch of how much you can do. You will like this book. But if you're definitely more invested in character development and getting to know your characters really well and getting to explore a lot, then you might not enjoy this book as much as you would others. So if you like what you're seeing here and you want to continue seeing more, click all those bunnies down below, and goodbye, internet.